Welcome guys. Today we will discuss another very important cell organelle, that is the lysosome. The lysosomes were these are the lysosomes. The lysosomes were discovered for the first time by Christian Didier in 1949. It is he who gave another alternative name to the lysosomes, that is the suicide bags of the cell. Basically, the term lysosome was introduced by a scientist known as the Novikov. Novikov is the scientist who gave the concept of endomembrane system. He gave the Garrel system, that's the Golgi, endoplasmic reticulum, and lysosomal system, which we sometimes also call as the endomembrane system. Now, what basically lysosomes are? The lysosomes are single membrane bound, spherical or rounded, or sometimes variously shaped cell organelles which contain acid hydrolysis, that they contain the hydrolytic enzymes, and they originate from the Golgi body. In this diagram it is clear, you see these are the cisternae of the Golgi, and from the cisternae of the Golgi arise small vesicular structures. These vesicular structures containing the hydrolytic enzymes are the lysosomes. So lysosomes can be defined as the uh, cell organelles which contain the hydrolytic enzymes, and sometimes many other these scientists or cytologists define them as the acidic compartments containing the hydrolytic enzymes. It is because the pH inside the lysosomes, it is somewhat near about 5. Usually we say it is 4.6, that it is about 5. So it is a highly acidic environment inside the lysosome, and there are present hydrolytic enzymes inside the lysosome. Now, some alternative names have also been given to the lysosomes, like the suicide bags, which I already discussed. Sometimes they are also known as the food processors or the garbage disposers, because they help in the intracellular digestion of the food materials, and they also help in the digestion and the removal of some of the wastes inside the cell. That's why they are sometimes also known as the food processors and garbage disposers. They dispose away the waste material. That's why they are sometimes also known as the disposal cards of the cell. Sometimes they are also known as recyclers. That is why, because they recycle some of the substances which are as a waste inside the cell. They degrade them, and they after degradation they recycle the materials inside the cell. That's why they are sometimes also known as the recyclers. Now, after that, we will discuss the polymorphism in the lysosomes. As the lysosomes exist in many forms, that's why we say that lysosomes show polymorphism. The lysosomes are mainly of four types. That's the primary lysosomes, secondary lysosomes, autophagolysosomes, and the residual bodies. Now, these lysosomes which directly arise from the Golgi body, they are known as the primary lysosomes. They contain only hydrolytic enzymes and nothing more. And these lysosomes which arise from the Golgi body containing the hydrolytic enzymes, they are known as the primary lysosomes. After that, you see, so what are secondary lysosomes? Sometimes a food material gets engulfed in a what we call as vesicle, which we call as the phagocytic vesicle, or which we call as phagosome. And this phagosome then uh, reacts with the lysosome, and the lysosomal contents, that the hydrolytic enzymes, go inside that phagosome, and which generates the secondary lysosome. So the secondary lysosome contains the hydrolytic enzymes and the food materials which need to be are the materials which need to be digested. So they are the secondary lysosomes. Now, after that, there are sometimes these what we call as autophagic lysosomes. Sometimes some cell organelles which degenerate inside the cell and remain of no use, they are bounded by a membrane, and that vesicle containing that very cell organelle which is of no use, then that strikes with the lysosome, and the lysosome drops its contents into that this vacuole. That's it drops its hydrolytic enzymes into that vacuole, and that type of vacuole which contains the hydrolytic enzymes, and it also contains the degenerated cell organelles which are to be digested, they are known as the autophagic lysosomes. Then ultimately, once the digestion of the food products occurs inside the lysosomes, there remains the residual matter inside the lysosomes, and this residual matter which remains inside the lysosomes, this forms the fourth type of the lysosome, which is known as the residual bodies. These residual bodies need to be removed out from the cell. Sometimes when the residual bodies get accumulated inside the cell, they lead to sometimes of disease which we call as the storage diseases. As one of the disease among storage disease is Pompe's disease. So storage diseases are a result of storage of the residual bodies inside the cells. Furthermore, they result in aging of the cells. Now let's move towards the functions of these cell organelles. One important function of these cell organelles is they help in the intracellular digestion of the food materials. Any food material which is carried into the cell is digested into these lysosomes. After that, it also helps in the recycling of the materials inside the cell. For example, there are some degenerated cell organelles which are of no use. They are digested inside the lysosome, inside the secondary lysosome, and then the residual materials, they are stored inside the residual body, and other materials which are to be used, they are flushed out from the lysosome and they are again reused inside the cell. uh, Now other use of the lysosomes are, for example, if we study the structure of the sperm, there is at the top of the sperm, there is a structure which we call as the acrosome. The acrosome is a special type of lysosome, and it contains the hydrolytic enzymes which help in dissolving the egg coats during fertilization. So acrosome is also a type of the lysosome which helps in dissolving the egg coats of the ovum during the fertilization process, as it contains many hydrolytic enzymes. Further, the lysosomes have also a role in extracellular digestion of the materials. For example, in case of the acrosome, the acrosomal contents are released outside the sperm and they degrade the egg coats, and this is an example of extracellular digestion. Furthermore, it has also a role, the lysosomal activity has also a role in the mitosis. The repressor molecules which sometimes block the mitosis whenever needed, they are degraded once the mitosis or the cell division is to resume again. There are many other functions of the lysosomes, like the what we call as the formation of the thyroxine from the thyroglobin. Lastly, we will discuss the origin of the lysosomes. The lysosomes originate from the Golgi complex. That's why we say that they are the components of the endomembrane system or the this Garel system.